Howdy folks, my name is Gabe. You're out for another hike with me, or maybe you're new, just checking it out. We're gonna start on this trail, wander around for a while. I'm sure we'll get distracted and go off the trail. It's a little cloudy today, but it's not raining, so I think we'll have a good hike. So we just took a quick little detour over onto, this is a snowmobile trail for the wintertime. It's a lot messier than the hiking trail, but I got my rubber boots on. It's kind of a neat bridge up here. I like to take this detour and walk across the bridge. Here's the bridge. Nice creek running through. Take a little look around the bridge before we keep moving. Find our way back onto the regular trail for a little bit before they get too far apart from each other. Cut through this cool little section of trees. Birds are really singing today. Here's the trail. In fact, I may cross the snowmobile road we were just on right up here. I don't remember. Oh, slime mold. Yeah, I guess we could have just walked up a little bit and then hopped on the trail, but I like a good little shortcut. Check out this tree, see what's going on over here. First of all, just such a cool pattern. But then look at all this. Just obliterated out of here. Wow. Goes up and around. Is that woodpeckers, you think, folks, or bugs? I'm not an expert. I just like to walk in the woods and look at stuff. I'm hoping the experts are watching and they're going to teach me a few things. Birds are singing again. Started to rain just a little bit, just gently. It's kind of nice. Definitely nothing to stop us from a good hike today. A neat dead tree. Green at the bottom. Really is a nice trail. It's nice to see so much green popping up around us. I'm tempted to want to get off this trail and just wander in the woods, but it's hard. It's a good trail. We'll just stay on it for a little while. We'll know when the time is right to get off and look for more things. Even though it started to rain, I'm warming up. Here's a neat part of the path. This little stone walkway. A lot of downed branches and trees here. Some of this may be from logging. They logged portions of these state forests. But to me, this just looks kind of like trash, although I do see a lot of it cut. Sort of a trail that cuts across here. Looks like a horse trail. Maybe we'll take it. I was thinking about cutting off in this direction anyway, just to mix things up. We'll take this and then use it to get off and go our own way. pretty nice for a horse trail. A lot of times the horse trails are a lot more torn up and muddy, sometimes poopy. This is nice, hard packed like a normal hiking trail though. Nice and green back here. Rain stopped, the birds are chirping. Told you folks, this is going to be a good one. And here's some sloppy parts. Although I wore my rubber boots today, highly recommend getting yourself some sturdy rubber boots if you like hiking and you want to get into the muck, into the swamps and the creeks and the mud. It really helps. Yeah, I spoke too soon about this trail being not too messy, because there's a lot of messy spots. Oh, and here we go. Someone left their horse poop. A whole bunch of it. I could be wrong, but I think they're supposed to clean it up like you would your dog, but need a hefty bag when you're out riding. This is interesting. First I thought these leaves were a purple fungus growing in conjunction with these other mushrooms, but no, just old rotting leaves. Floating log. Wedged up there. Look at these mushrooms as well. Interesting. Not a great identifier of mushrooms. I'm not sure if those are just turkey tails or just they grow similar and they're old. A little more familiar with a fresh, vibrant looking turkey tail, but not an expert. dudes, the little wormies, caterpillars. To mess up their thing while I'm looking at it. Pretty cool. Ooh, more mud. I'm ready though. Whoa, that was a big one. Whoa, that was a big one. That one went inside the boot a little bit. That splashed right up. And that's what I get for being too bold. I'll be a little more cautious on this one. I think I'm going to split, and this looks like it may have been an old road that's all grown in. We're going to split off, go this way. We've been on the horse trail for a while. Let's see what happens if we just wander into the thick of it. Slippery. It's got pretty thick pretty fast, but I think we'll be fine. As long as I don't slip and break my leg or ankle or whatever. These wet logs. I will say, folks, don't do what I do necessarily. Don't go wandering off trail unless you know what you're doing and you know the area and you're prepared. And you got GPS on your phone and or compass and map. I try to have all these things in place before I go off trail, as well as someone knowing I'm out hiking. If you're out alone, make sure someone knows where you're at, just in case. And know that you're allowed to get off the trail. A lot of state parks, they don't want you doing that. It may be fully against the rules, but these state forest lands are a little more relaxed and a little more wild, and most, if not all of them, allow you to hike freely on the property. People hunt here in hunting season, and you can even primitive camp anywhere in these woods within certain rules and regulations. So that's why I like to take advantage of this area to get off trail and see things you wouldn't normally see when you stay on a trail. Although trails are nice too. This is a very scenic spot to find off the trail. I don't know if it's the kind of creek we can follow very much. It's kind of small and thick, but maybe we'll go up this way a little bit and see. It's Definitely very slippery and muddy back here. I don't think we're going to follow this all the way up, but we'll cut off this way in the woods. It's like walking uphill in a mudslide. Just another old unused road, or maybe a mostly dried up creek. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll follow this. Whatever it is, it's a mess. Covered up pretty good, so we'll go around. It's amazing, just even last week, but especially in the last few weeks hiking, there was almost nothing growing and you could walk almost anywhere. Now already it's getting so grown in, it's getting more and more difficult to wander wherever I want. And pretty soon it's just going to be full on, top to bottom, wall to wall green. It's going to be a little more difficult, but a lot more scenic to wander around back here off the trails. Hello, birds. These flowers coming up out here. It's probably a plant I should know, but again, I'm not an expert, so chime in if you know what those are. Won't be long before this area will be very difficult to get through, but also very delicious to get through because there are lots of raspberry bushes. It's prickers and berries. So we're making through for now. The woods have lots of nice big patches of raspberries and blackberries all over different areas. So pretty much anywhere you're hiking, you're going to come across them once they're fruiting in season, which is a nice treat. Or if you're camping out this way, collect them, put them to breakfast. In fact, later in the season, there's a spot where I camp near here that we found a whole bunch of bilberries, which are a wild blueberry, a little smaller, very delicious. So definitely make a video collecting those and probably something I make out of them. But I don't think that will be until at least August when they're in season. Maybe as early as July, but I think it's more like an August, September thing, if I recall from last year. We're making our way through these prickers ever so carefully. We'll say another tip: if you're going off trail like me, you're going to want to have clothes you don't mind if they get muddy and ripped, or get yourself some higher quality ripstop quick dry outdoor, like tactical type gear. I've got a little bit of both. Today I've just got my old clothes on that are getting ripped and torn and wet, and I don't mind. But I feel like when the weather gets warm and I sweat more, I like wearing those quick dry, thin but tough kind of materials. Making our way. Bit of a swampy area, but I wanted to check out this stump. Looks cool. Look at all these roots. There. Very swampy here. Gotta be careful. Suck in, lose a boot. I kind of want to get close enough to film some of these ferns, but I don't think I can walk through this muck. I think it's too deep for my boots. Maybe the best way around. Let's try to take this log as a bridge and see if we can get anywhere. Oh. Can never tell if I'm making it worse or better for myself, but so far we're making it through here. We can get to these ferns that are still a little curly, but they're just about unfurled. It seems to happen so quickly. Let's see if we can look at these ones over here. Here's some. Birch bark. So we don't need to make a fire today. I'm gonna keep snaking through this maze and try not to lose our boots in the mud. I think we're gonna make it without any trouble. Looks like we're already almost done with this swampy area. Bugs are starting to get on me though. I'll be happy to get away from this buggy area. It's scenic, and it's cool to look at these things. There's friends on this one. hope you folks appreciate me walking through the swamps like this. I found them so scenic, but they're so difficult to get through comfortably that most people aren't going to walk out here. So I want to get out here and film them, so you can get the experience without having to deal with the mud and the bugs. I'm doing that for you. Almost slipped there. Made it. Next time I'm going to walk somewhere slippery, I'll maybe give a warning ahead of time. And if you're the type to want to drink, you can turn to a drinking game every time I almost slip. And then if I actually slip, I don't know, take 2 drinks. Or if you don't drink, use candy or whatever. I don't know. Whatever you like. Doesn't have to be booze. Have fun. Thought we were about out of this, but it just keeps going and going. Although it's getting a little easier, so I'm not complaining. These are the parts of the woods where I feel like you're going to see something like a Bigfoot or a fairy or something popping around the corner. It feels so much more secluded and a little bit magical. That's an interesting pattern on the bark. I assume from some kind of bug, but it's so interesting how uniform it is. Some old mushies. Yeah, I think we're finally leaving the swamps, folks. Hopefully I didn't speak too soon. Looking a little more foresty. Stick in my mouth. How rude did that stick? Sun's coming out. A little bit. Kind of like that tree we saw early on, only not nearly as much damage to it. And it's got the same kind of holes as that little birch log we just looked at. So I wonder if it was the same. Was that from a woodpecker or is this from some kind of termite? Looks cool though. Finding our way through this mess. It's getting a little thick again. Uphill. Bound to happen sooner or later. going on here on these leaves? These little bugs or a little fungus growing? All over. Yeah, they're on these ones too. Yeah, what are those guys, folks? Can't tell if this is an old, unused trail. This could be the horse trail again, since they look a little messier. Oh, another trail that cuts this way might be the actual hiking trail, or an old version of it. Decided I'm going to skip the trails and just keep going in the direction I was going, cutting right across. I was checking my map, and it looks like we keep in this general direction, cutting through the woods, I'm eventually going to hit one of the forest access roads, which I might walk on for a little bit, and then dip back into the woods to make my loop back to where I parked. I love the birds have been singing to us all day. Still chirping out here. Another raspberry field. Nice if there's some berries for me, but I'm too early. Okay, this looks much better. Another old logging road that's grown in. It's like every 5 minutes it goes from being easy to extremely difficult. Back on another grown in road, it looks like. Getting awful thick again. We're not free yet, but we're getting closer. Scout the best route. Always take the path of least resistance. Do your best not to smush and ruin the plant life. Look for the deer trails. That's what I'm trying to do. Follow the creeks, which I haven't done much today. Got myself stuck a few times. Oh, we're getting out. There's another one of these cool things. Getting ready for spring. Very cool. I've seen a lot of those in the distance while hiking. I've only come up close to a few of them though. This looks a lot better. I'm a lot more open. We shouldn't be too terribly far from finding that forest access road. See a cool looking tree I want to get a closer look at. Oh. Look at this thing. It's pretty cool. See mushrooms growing. That's up in the hole. Sun's starting to shine. For real this time. It was originally supposed to be pretty rainy all day, but I'm glad I took my chances because we barely got a drizzle and now it's turned out to be pretty nice. mushrooms. Pretty soon we're going to see them fresher. Pretty soon. I think we're close to the road, but this thick stuff over here is blocking us, so I'm just following along it until we get a chance to poke through it. I think I'm on like a deer trail or something. That's working out just fine for now. Cool mossy roots. Checking to confirm on my GPS, we are in fact very close to that forest road, but it's just like too impassable to cut through that way. Although I'm quite enjoying walking along it. It's not as easy as a trail, but it's pretty open. At least I'm not getting snagged in the brambles or slipping too deep in mud. So I'm not complaining. And eventually we will be able to hit that road. Just a matter of whenever all that thick stuff starts to thin out. Let's see if we can follow this muddy creek bed in the right direction. I can see the road through the trees, folks. A detour worked. And there's a car coming. I hope they don't spook them just walking out of the woods randomly. Here we are on the road. We're gonna walk this for a little bit to enjoy the sun. First nude of the season. Eventually we're going to see these guys everywhere. It makes me so paranoid walking sometimes. There can be so many, I'm afraid I'm going to step on them. Oh yeah, I pretty quickly hopped off that road for a detour. But I think I'm gonna go right back to it. I just got distracted. Vines growing there in the trees. I turned off on a little side access road so I can get back into the woods. This is probably just going to dead end somewhere up ahead or just get thicker. It's not meant for vehicle access. It's just an old road for maintenance access, if even that. You can see it's changing already up here. Ooh, some psychedelic looking water. You think you can drink that with a life straw? It's like shiny metallic. Oh, it's so red. Oh, look, friends. Little tadpole friends. Hello, friends. Good luck to you. Walk around you and not squish you. I've taken this path before, I think. I want to say this is probably meant as a horse trail, since it's so messy, and sure enough, looks like horseshoe tracks to me. A couple deer tracks too, but it's just a messy old horse trail. Almost too messy for my boots. It's gotta stay to the edge. Oh wow, these tadpoles are a lot bigger than the other ones that we just saw, just like a few feet behind us. Why are you guys so much bigger? I don't know, I keep changing my mind on what this is meant to be, because these orange arrows make me think it could be snowmobile. But I guess that's still useful if you're on a horse. Obviously there's been horses on the trail. I think we're gonna go straight into this tree line though. That looks inviting to me. See, this kind of stuff is randomly down these access roads. I'm not even sure exactly what they are, what they do. It has to do with some kind of gas or oil, but I don't even know if they're still in operation or what. I've never seen anyone out here checking on them, but I'm not going to mess with them either, just in case. Let's see what's the best way through here. Straight ahead. And here we are, back in the woods, back into the forest. Whew. Wow, I just hit some prickers pretty good. Yikes. Whew. Always take your time and be careful, folks. Don't just rush through like I do. You're gonna get scratched. Oh. Huh. A little thick and tricky, but we're getting somewhere. Okay. That was an odd little thick detour. I don't know if it did us any good because I see a sign for the horse trail ahead. Anyway. Ugh. Which for now do I want to take? I don't know, the woods look a little more inviting now. Maybe we'll just try a little more loosey-goosey walking. Take it for a few feet. And whoop. Alright, I think let's split off from the horse trail and just go into the woods again. See what the forest has for us. Big stones are inviting a little bit. We got just a little bit of rain starting up again. Very gentle though. Nothing I'm worried about. It's actually kind of nice because by now I'm pretty warm. I've heated up from walking, and a little bit of cool breeze and a few raindrops would be nice. Something we can cross, or is this going to be some kind of swamp? Looks promising at the moment. See some water, but I think it's nothing more than we can handle. Definitely a little mushy. Nice little creek thing. Right through this, no problem at all. It's intriguing. Gonna keep going up this way. We're just crossing today. The ferns. Found some more of this machinery stuff. It's tempting to want to go up that ladder and everything, but like I said, I don't mess with this stuff because I don't want to get in trouble. I'm just here to hike. I'm not here to cause trouble. I figure out if I'm going down this road or up behind that. Yeah, so we're going to follow this little access back to one of the forest roads, and then we'll follow that either to the trail again or into the woods if there's a spot that looks good and enticing. We're definitely going to wind down pretty shortly here. We're heading back in the direction of parking, but still got some ground to cover before we get there. I'm sure we're going to keep seeing some interesting, cool stuff. And okay, I think we're just going to hop onto the trail. Looks nice. We came up this way. This trail runs through multiple state forests here in western New York. It's meant for backpacking, I think. You know, it runs 20-30 miles. There's multiple places to camp along the way. If you've watched some of my other videos, you may have seen some of the open-faced cabin lean-to type places, or pretty soon I'll be doing some tent camping out in these areas and I'll be showing you that and talking about that. Really nice area though. Especially if you don't mind it a little rougher. State parks might be a little nicer, a little more upkept. Have bathrooms usually, that kind of thing. These places, none of that. Just sometimes trails, sometimes they don't even have trails, but you can just hike the property. Well folks, we're just about done hiking for today. It was another good one, a great one. One for the books. Beautiful day. So let me know in the comments if you liked it and if you didn't and what you want to see differently. Let me know if you want to hear more talking and if you want to just hear me chat, you want to hear me explain some things, even though I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Let me know. I'm going to go ahead and put up a screenshot of my GPS tracker thing, and that way you can see what our hike looked like today and how long it was. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hiking. See you next time.